Hey you guys, so this is my third take of this video because it's a really hard video for me to get through because it is dealing with some really personal stuff. I've cried every take, so I'm going to try really hard not to cry this time and to get through the speech because I feel that it is very important and it's bigger than just me. So here goes. Hey everyone. So I haven't posted a cover in a really long time, and it's really important for me to talk about why. I wanted to talk about this because I feel that it's something that is extremely important for a lot of people, not just me. I know a lot of people have gone through or are going through the same things that I'm about to talk about. So I just wanted to talk about my personal experience in hopes that it might be a little comforting or inspiring to someone out there. So here goes. Due to many circumstances and situations in my life and just things that have happened to me, I have for a long time struggled with depression and anxiety as well as PTSD. I don't really want to go into the reasons why because that is a really personal and sensitive subject for me. It is important for me though to talk about these issues openly because I know that so many wonderful people in this world struggle with these things every single day. I don't want to ever support the idea that we should hide these things and not talk about them. I think it's so important that people do not feel ashamed about their mental and emotional health issues. You should never feel like a defeated person, like you're defected, or like you are less in any way for feeling however you do. You are wonderful and beautiful and perfect with all of your flaws and scars. And you are braver and stronger than you could ever imagine for choosing to keep fighting for the happiness and the life you deserve, even when your mind is telling you it isn't worth it or that you aren't worth it. I just want to say that you are worth every beautiful thing in this world. You deserve happiness and health and people who love you, and a fantastic, brilliant life where all your dreams come true. You deserve all of that and so much more. And I just want to ask that you please never let anyone, including yourself, make you believe anything else. Fear and pain and insecurities are powerful things, but you must never let them win. I promise you, the strength inside of you is so much greater than everything negative you face or feel, and you will be okay. That all being said, I want to now talk about why I wanted to put this message out there today. A little while ago, I was going through a particularly bad spell of depression. It lasted a really long time, and I was really starting to believe that I wasn't ever going to feel better. I couldn't really see or think about anything outside of how bad I felt. It just felt like being trapped inside this cloud you can't see through, and just like everything is so overwhelming and just too much. So many things were weighing really heavy on my mind and my heart. It kind of felt like I just couldn't breathe and I couldn't get outside of my head no matter what I did. And every time I started to feel better, it was very short-lived, and then I would be pulled back so hard into the dark cloud again and feel even worse and more discouraged. And so I just was feeling very hopeless and miserable, honestly. And I know that I did not want to feel this way anymore, but I really didn't have the energy to try and change it, which is the worst part of depression because it makes you feel awful and rips away all your energy and motivation that you need to fight it. So you just feel incredibly powerless and defeated and pinned down by this awful feeling. Now for me, music has always been the only thing, other than my friends and family, that has been able to make me feel better. Music has always been a consistent and constant coping device in my life ever since I can remember. Listening to songs and singing has always brought me comfort and happiness and peace and hope, and just a complete outlet for every emotion and thought I have ever had or felt. Music has been such a blessing and saving grace my whole life, that it feels like such a personal and intimate part of me as a human being. It's just a very big piece of my soul and who I am. Music is just a big part of me. It's just as big a part of me as the blood in my veins. I'm connected to music like I'm connected to my physical body. That's how important this is to me. I was singing and humming as a baby before I could talk. It's just such a part of life that it's almost like breathing. It's just all I've ever known. It is weird for me to imagine a life for me that could exist where I don't sing all the time and am constantly immersed in music. My interests in life have ranged and extended to many different things over the years, but it always comes back to music. Either me coming back to it or it to me. Always. It is just something that is always reoccurring in my life, even when I've almost given up on my dreams entirely. Somehow, though, through what really feels like divine intervention and fate, music is always my home. And this is how I know that the depression spell I was talking about earlier was really bad. I was in such a bad place that not even music was getting through to me. I couldn't find inspiration or motivation to make music, to write songs, or sing, or anything. I canceled on songwriting sessions with someone really great who was willing to work on writing original music with me. Someone really talented and creative and awesome who is genuinely as passionate about music as I am. An opportunity I should have made the most of, but I didn't, because I was just feeling tired and stressed. And I guess didn't care. I wasn't making any cover videos, and I stopped going to open mics altogether. I really hated myself for not having any motivation and not being able to just get myself together, even though it truly just isn't that simple. I felt very discouraged and disappointed in myself. I was feeling very pessimistic about the future and whether or not I was actually on the right path. If I was even meant to do music at all. I was really having a crisis and just felt so detached and disconnected. I just felt nothing like myself and kind of was having a crisis about who I even was. One morning when I felt really awful about all of this, I prayed and asked God for some direction and guidance. I asked for a sign. Something to prove to me that I was on the right path, that I was meant to do music and that I was good enough and that I could do this. I wanted something to bring me back and reignite my passion and believe in the thing I had loved and believe was meant for me and meant to be a part of my life, my whole life. The thing I was so sure of was suddenly something I wasn't sure of at all. I prayed out of a place of complete desperation. I really needed a sign and something to bring me back in touch with why I loved music in the first place. Why I had spent my whole life dedicated to it, and what I needed more than anything was a renewed sense of hope and belief in myself. Depression beats you down to a place where you feel worthless and unable to fight for the things you love most. It makes you feel unable to accomplish any of your dreams. It just makes you feel like there's no point to anything. The following night, after I had said my prayer, everything came to a climax. I went into my bedroom and started taking down all my posters of the people who inspired me most. I took down concert tickets off my walls, tore DVDs off my shelf, and lyric booklets. I put my Christina Aguilera Back to Basics book back in my closet where I couldn't see it. I even took my amp and camera equipment and microphone and all the things I used to sing and make music and put them all away. When I finished, my room looked totally bare. All the things that represented me had been put up. I figured not seeing that stuff would make it easier for me to inevitably accept my defeat and give everything up. I went to bed that night feeling like I had hit rock bottom emotionally. It was one of the worst feelings I had experienced in a long time. The next morning, when I woke up to my empty room, with blank walls, devoid of all the things that I loved, I truly felt heartbroken and sick to my stomach. It was really hard, but my depression made me believe this was what I deserved and the best I could hope for. But then something unexplainable started happening. I started getting signs, multiple signs, all about music. It started off with small things, but it all added up. It was after all this that I had woken up one morning and felt completely re-inspired, almost out of nowhere. I can't really explain why, but it was like I had been reborn. I felt happier than I had in a long time, and I felt like me again. It could have been because of all the little signs that I had been receiving, or because of hearing a song that I really loved on the radio that morning. Or maybe it was a combination of multiple things. I don't know, and I didn't really care. I was just so happy to feel like me again. That night, when I got home, I spent hours redecorating my room and putting all my music stuff back out. I went to bed feeling more content and peaceful than I had in a very long time. The next day, I received a sign so direct and blatant and obvious that it felt like God Himself had sent it to me. And for the first time in so long, I didn't feel doubt or fear or insecurity or uncertainty of any kind. I felt hope and real faith that I was right where I was supposed to be all along. It was like everything just fell into place, and I just knew that everything was going to be okay. I was finally out of the darkness, and I could see the reality of my situation. I understand all the ways now that depression had confused me and filled me with fear and took the ground from right under my feet and made me question everything that I had known to be true. I could finally see the light again. It was like being able to breathe after being suffocated for so long. I was me again, and I believed in my dreams, and I remembered who I was. And I decided then and there that I was never going to let anything take that away from me ever again. So that's the ending of what I wrote. And I didn't really finish it because I really wasn't sure how, but I just want to say the tears that I'm crying now are happy tears because I feel like I have made it through so much, and I know that I'm stronger for it, and I know that everything in the future is going to be amazing, and that life's just going to get better and better from here on out, and I know that. And I just feel so blessed that I have so many wonderful people in my life who love me and are always there for me, and I have so many blessings from God I can't even begin. I'm very, very lucky. And I just want to say to anybody out there who feels similar or is going through the same thing or has gone through the same thing, I just want you to know that it really is going to be okay, and that it will get better, and that one day you're going to wake up and it's just going to stop and you're going to be happy again. And it might take a really long time, but you will feel like yourself again eventually, and it's going to be a really good feeling, and everything you love is going to come back to life for you, and you're just going to know your purpose and why you're here, and you're not going to doubt it anymore. And even if you do end up doubting it, you're still going to know inside of you that you have a purpose and that you'll figure it out, even if you get a little lost along the way. But to whoever's watching this, you're amazing and you're wonderful and you're a beautiful person, and you should never feel like any less. And just know that just because you lose motivation to do something doesn't mean that you love it any less, or that you don't deserve it as much as someone else who has the energy to go after it. I know it may seem that way, but everybody falls down sometimes, and you're just human, and that's just the way it works. And you can't beat yourself up about it. You're still the same person you always were, even though depression makes you feel like you're not. And you just got to remember that, and remember who that person is, and pull that out of you. And you got to hold on to it with everything that you've got. And now for me, life is really just about focusing on all the positives in my life, because I feel like after being so confused and feeling like I was so in the dark, coming out of that, I see everything so much clearer now, and all of the good things are so apparent to me now more than ever before. And I'm so thankful for those things, and I'm thankful to God for getting me through everything that I have gone through. I'm thankful to every one of my loved ones, my brother, my dad, my sister, who is also my best friend, and just all the people who have been so kind to me and have gotten me through in little ways and big ways. I'm just so thankful. And I really honestly feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be now. And I have a lot of hope for the future. So that's where I am right now. And so I want to end this off with saying I'm going to continue doing music. I am going to continue working on songwriting. I'm going to put up more cover videos. I'm going to go to open mics again. And I'm going to fight for this dream with all I have, because I know that music is the thing that I love most. And I don't want to ever lose touch with that again. And so even if it doesn't work out for me and I'm never famous, and I never make it, or I never get a record deal, at least I know that I went for it with everything I had, and that's what's important. So yeah, I'm not giving up. And I guess that's just all I wanted to say. But all of my love and good vibes to anybody who's watching this. And yeah, I just hope you have a beautiful life.